All right. Speaking of things that looked terrible, you want to talk about Dandadan?
Those seem like two different.
You literally before the podcast, you were like, "Look, that was the worst looking episode of anime I've ever seen." You were doing this whole, like, a long diatribe.
Why are you lying to people?
I don't know why you're backing out of your take.
What are you talking about,
Danny? I don't know what you're. I don't know what.
What a weird and mean bit.
That's where the Jamaican accent comments. No, this was fucking gorgeous. Wow.
For as fucking weird as this was,
yeah,
I loved it. This is like
welcome to the new gen. Like welcome to actual now new gen.
That's so. You know what? Everyone's like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, blah blah. Like they're the new gen.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. One Punch Man started new gen.
So you're saying 2013 started new gen?
I think the influences on this era of popular anime isn't so much JJK, it isn't so much Attack on Titan, it isn't so much Chainsaw Man.
You're saying Dawn to Dawn is influenced by One Punch Man.
It's One Punch Man, Mob Psycho. Well, I'm saying...
Maybe by one.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, not necessarily that it's influenced by it, but I'm saying, like, the masses are gravitating towards that vibe. Because Dandadan's huge, Mob Psycho was huge, One Punch Man was huge. And One Punch Man, if it wasn't just one season for like years and years and years.
It's 2 seasons, but yeah.
For years and years and years, was one. And then season 2 came out and it was not as good.
Not as good, yeah.
Like when One Punch Man season 1 came out, it had the pull that Attack on Titan did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in terms of like being on a college campus and like randoms who like never watch anime watching an anime, One Punch Man and Attack on Titan had the same pull.
Yeah, hand in hand.
And I think Dandadan is like, I don't know, like in this new era, I'm seeing like more mainstream shit be that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And
It's
I love
so
this.
Mob Psycho coded, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's Mob Psycho to a T. It's Mob Psycho with, I mean, Mob's very relatable and I love him. And I guess Reagan would technically be his foil, but like it's like a co-protagonist situation. But like more focused on like a love story. I guess Mob Psycho is also pretty focused on a love story.
This is a little easier on the eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Just in a general sense.
Like it's much less conceptual.
I just means less like ugly.
Yeah.
Like Mob Psycho has great animation, ugly art style.
Yeah.
This has like a pretty solid art style.
That's actually an upgrade from what the web novels look like because fuck are the web novels hard to read. Like it's one who does all the stories is like not a good artist, which is why he's always getting manga artists to like actually like zhuzh it up. I love this episode so much I'm rereading Dandadan and I'm now on chapter 16.
Wow.
Yeah, I the artwork and so like the biggest thing about, and I'm sure you noticed this, is like the creative and directorial choices to like rotoscope and like attack like there's like really they do a really good job at like I don't know how to explain it, like when there's like a bunch of lines that go like across the screen in one direction, the characters following those lines, like they come from like a non like think about like Genos's kick in One Punch Man, the one that Saitama dodges, where like Genos is like launching up all of his rockets in this giant kick, and he like comes from across the screen, kind of. Like there's a lot of those scenes where like the character comes from a non-traditional like area and goes like pans across your screen. So that is like people are like, oh my god, wow, I love like all of these like changes in direction and like looks and all of that. And I was like, yeah. I feel like I remember that being in the manga, and the manga, probably better than any manga I've ever read, does breakthrough panels really, really well. Like, you know, like where like different panels will interact with each other. That's what this manga does, so, like better than any other manga. Like this is like kind of a good example when the aliens come through and like you see how the aliens like stepping through the panel, and like the directionality of the hallway. An
overlap.
Yeah. So it's like the directionality of like they'll like I don't know. I feel like they do a good job at like building the direction in which they're going.
Yeah.
I'm not explaining it well, but I absolutely like this.
Yeah, it's dynamic.
This right here, like this scene.
Yeah. The panels are very dynamic, and in the way that a lot of people talk about Akira Toriyama's work, where it's like. Totally Not Mark had a really cool video about it where you look at an Akira Toriyama panel and they're so clear and it's like there's no clutter, you always can see what's going on, but also like the action will like move your eye in a way that's like a very fluid. So you're not like in a lot of manga, you like look at the image and then your eye moves somewhere and reads the text.
Yeah.
And Akira Toriyama was a master at like someone will be flying from like the top right corner to like the bottom. And so your eye naturally goes to the bottom and then the action will like move back up to the left. Like it's like tracing your eye around in a way that's very intentional.
Yeah. And that's what I think that like the manga, like the actual like manga artwork in this story is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like any real like Turbo Granny moment. Like it's like I actually sent something. I sent a photo of it to Brian, I think. And I'm like very rarely like genuinely blown away by a manga, like how it looks.
Yeah.
This right here. So look at this. Look at this. Splonk.
But so
anyways, I was splonking my honker.
I told Sarah I have this skit idea.
Yep.
Well, Sarah was like, this is like hardly a skit idea.
By the way, Danny unplugged us. So if
Yeah.
you're wondering why we just changed topics and also sound different,
Yeah.
Danny unplugged the mic.
I was like, Sarah was like, oh, Josh. We were talking to Josh and he was like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then he went to the bathroom and he didn't come back for a while. Sarah's like, where did Josh go? I was like, I don't know. It's probably, and I did like a jerk off motion.
So aggressive.
And she was like, and for audio only listeners, I did your classic joik.
Yeah, but it was so aggressive. I also didn't like how you bit your lip while looking at me.
Well, I came.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it was a good one. And then she was like, I don't think he's jerking off. And then I was like, ugh, don't call it jerking off. Call it sploinking your yoinkster. I was like,
I've been doing this thing recently where I'm like, you can't say that. And I was like, you can't say jerking off anymore.
I like the idea of doing that and then replacing it with something way more graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have this thing shucking your hole. Yeah.
Call it greasing your gizzard. No one says jerking it.
Oh, I didn't like greasing your gizzard at all.
That's the bit.
Oh.
But anyway.
That was a good one.
Thanks. But anyway, so she goes to an abandoned hospital, look for aliens. He goes to an abandoned railroad to look for ghosts. They both end up getting sexually assaulted by the thing they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. 2 for 2 on sexual assault that night.
It's funny because a part of me, I was like, God, of course this is like a pervy, gross show. And I was like, I guess the guy's in the same situation.
Yep.
So at least it's equal opportunity.
In the long gist of it, he gets it way worse than she does.
Yeah.
The first 20, the majority of the first season of this show is going to be dedicated to getting Okarune's like genitalia back.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I do love the design of his like I was hoping I thought the premise was going to be like she's a psychic, he has a demon form.
Yeah.
And I liked his demon form. I wish he kept it.
The like Turbo Granny thing?
Yeah, but it like turned into like a different like it didn't look like her when she was chasing him, you know? Like it kind of changes a little.
He gets like the big old like Deku,
Yeah.
like Deku when he's wearing his mask kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like an African like mask.
I guess like the big teeth. Like it's kind of like Toga's. It's actually more like Toga's scarf. You know how Toga has the big blue like scarf?
Well, it reminds me of like the Insidious. Like, because it's red and like wood kind of color. You know, it's like a red and mahogany color. Am I like just...
No. I think I know what you're talking about. You're gonna like... Okay, I was gonna say, like, I personally really like... I really like his form.
I do too.
But what you're describing is not his form.
What is it?
You're talking, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Like,
You're
why
talking
don't you
about the form that he uses to save her from all the aliens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not his form. That's not his form at all. Do you want me to show you like what his form actually looks like?
No.
It's fucking sick though. It's really dope. I really like his transformation is sick. So that's actually not his. That's not going to stick around. That's actually gone after this episode.
I was bummed.
Yeah.
I like that he comes out of the cell phone, beats him up. That was awesome.
Yep. Uses the Turbo Granny power.
That was fucking sick.
She just wants to nobble on some schlongs and get her titties suckled.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Sub or dub? Dude, this was a day one dub, and I was hyped.
I think I did dub.
Did you go, I'll let you suckle my tea if you let me gobble your schlong?
Yeah, she did do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did dub. Everything's been doing day one dubs.
Awesome.
Blue Lock.
Please make that the new standard.
I think Uzumaki's also doing day one dubs.
Yeah, but that's Adult Swim, so that makes sense.
That's fair. It's so nice. I love because I can just like do other things. I can putt around the house. Yeah. It's fucking great.
It's a good dub too.
It was a great dub, and I was also doing it as a way to like be like, hey Dorothy, you should watch this anime with me.
Bad call.
Bad call.
Bad call.
Terrible call. I think I've lost anime showing privileges to Dorothy for a while now because I showed her the first episode. I forgot how schlong focused the first episode is. You know what? I forgot how schlong focused this entire fucking anime and story is.
It's super schlonged up.
The first 20, I shit you not, the first 20 chapters are dedicated to schlongs.
Dude, I did this with Sarah the other night. We're watching Fruin.
Yep.
And just got to the kill yourself bit.
Oh,
awesome.
Aura, kill yourself. Fucking great.
It sucks because Sarah, like, I really sold it to her in the first episode because I was like, it's so philosophical and it's so, like, character driven, and she's like, I still like it, because I keep asking her. I'm like, yeah, I'll show you when you'll really like eventually. And she's like, I like it, but I will be honest, I like it a lot less once the demons showed up. She doesn't really care about fights.
I guess that's
you
fair.
know, and so it stopped being kind of philosophical once the demons came and it's all fighting.
There's like a 4 to 5 episode demon stretch, and then it gets philosophical again.
Demons are gone now. But yeah, it turned into something I like.
Yeah.
But she didn't. The worst feeling ever, because after we watched some for her, I was like, I'm going to show you an anime that's universally beloved. We'll check it out right now. Showed her episode 1 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yep.
Which is a fucking, like, whiplash-inducing...
mega shonen gigantic scale fights.
Yeah, like, just a neck breaker of a first episode.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have been any better with me constantly going, I swear it gets better every like 40 seconds.
Like, I swear at some point they talk while a dude's making a city-sized iceberg.
Yeah.
No one talks about the fact that guy was like one of the strongest alchemists of all time. And like episode 1, he's just gone.
Yeah, nobody talks about the fact that guy almost just fucking took out the entire capital.
Yeah. Also, nobody talks about the fact that he was objectively right.
Yeah.
Like he was like, hey, we've been doing war crimes. I'm taking the city out. And everyone was like, well, that guy was... What a kook. Oh my God.
I know. Episode 1 is really good if you've already seen the show, and it's really bad if you haven't.
Really?
It's so fucking confusing.
I guess. Yeah, they throw you directly into the fucking deep end.
There's a ton of shit, and then, spoiler, they never explain alchemy in Brotherhood. Like, never.
Really?
Yeah.
They say equivalent exchange a lot.
Yeah,
like
but
so
that's
many
not
times.
enough.
It's a good you rearrange the molecules.
They never explain the transmutation circles. They just mention that they exist.
They really don't. They do actually like a whole bit in like standard Full Metal where they talk about different types of transmutation, like different types of transmutation. So, oh my God, that's a hard thing to say in a fucking row.
That's what people tell me. They're like, this show's kind of like under the premise that you've already seen the original, so they're expeditious with it.
Yeah.
But like, they don't explain that. They never explain why the homunculi die. Like, they never explain that the soul, the Philosopher's Stones,
Redstone.
it's like a battery, and so there's a limit to how much you can heal.
They don't explain that?
No, it's just like you beat them enough, and then they stop healing, and it's like, okay.
Because they're not real Philosopher's Stones.
Yeah.
They're just red stones charged by Father.
No, it never is explained in Brotherhood.
Wild. I did not realize they didn't do that.
I wanted to show her Madoka Magica, but I want to show that to Josh too, so I don't want to I want to get both of them.
I don't know if Madoka Magica is something I could pitch to Dorothy.
I don't know what the fuck to show Sarah anymore. She hated Bochi the Rock. She liked
Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah, she's vegan. Her vegan friends like it.
They eat mushrooms.
I know, but it's like Sarah, I tried watching cooking shows with Sarah, and she's like, this is fun, but like, most of this literally doesn't register as food. Like, she can't even watch like a steak being cooked. It's not like she'll feel guilty. She'll just be like, that's not food. Like, that's like cooking. Yeah, it's like cooking a rock.
Yeah.
So I was like, well,
the first thing they eat is a dungeon or as a fucking mushroom.
Yeah. I guess her vegan friends do like Delicious in Dungeon, so maybe I'll show her that.
It's funny and it's cute.
But right now I'm like balls deep into Freerin. I just ignited the spark of Full Metal. I feel like it's weird to be like, let's jump ship again.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. You know, grit your teeth through all 65 episodes trying to tell her that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is better than she thinks it is.
Yeah.
Show her Death Note.
I know. I can't. You
Girls
can't tell.
love Death Note.
I can't tell. I can't tell if she'll like find it annoying. Anyway, we're talking about Dandadan. Any other thoughts? Yeah, baby. I loved it. I loved the opening. I love a rap. I love a Japanese rap.
Yeah, it's Creep Nuts. Creepy Nuts. They're very good. It's not as good as Mashal's. It's not as good as their bing bong bong bing.
Listen,
bong, bing, bong,
this
bong,
opening is like 3 songs mashed together.
Yeah.
I like the first song.
I like the second song.
Whoa. I like the first one. The first one's got like a growl to it. I don't know the words, so I'm not gonna make any up. But
It's
like,
just
no, but it's like
it's
different.
That's literally it.
no, he raps in the beginning.
There's they love a high pitched squeak in the back of their songs.
Yeah.
It's good. It is good.
I like
It's
it a lot.
probably the best OP from this season. At least from what I heard. I didn't like anybody else's OP. Like Dandadan's was good. Uzumaki doesn't really have one. Blue Locks is mid as hell. Bleach's is fine.
My Hero sucks.
My Hero sucks.
I hate it every time I hear it.
I skip it every single time. It's just soulless J-Rock. And that's kind of exactly what Blue Locks is. It's just soulless J-Rock. But this one's good. I'd say, my first note was dub and sub at the same time. Love the voice actors. The manga gets way like, I very incorrectly wrote, the manga gets way less dick focused after this. It doesn't. Kick out of the phone, good. Really good use of color. Really good use of POV and camera angles for action.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. Like, they do such a good job of, dynamic shots, and they make it, like, things that you can really only do with animation. Like,
Yeah.
you can't have, like, somebody, like, kicking out of a phone and shooting across with, like, a jet-powered kick in, like, live-action television. So you need to do it well in animation. It's so good. It was absolutely gorgeous. It's living up to the hype, and I'm very happy for it. This is going to be one of the most popular animes out there.